So this has wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, comes with its own backup camera, and it comes with your own external microphone. Of course, it has Bluetooth and everything else to be hands-free, but it also includes the physical buttons that we love. All of this is around $200. Sounds a little too good to be true, but is it? This is the Ousmin A8 Pro, and you may not think much of it when you get the box, and you might even think it doesn't come with much because, well, the box is tiny. But when you open this up, you're going to see that this actually comes with quite a bit. It comes with your mounting plate to, of course, mount the car stereo. It comes with your normal wiring harnesses. It also comes with a rear backup camera that can also act as a front camera if you already have a rear backup camera, and it comes with a microphone as well. So it basically comes with everything you need to get up and running. So why is the box so small? Well, when we take the unit out, you're going to see why it's so small. It's because it doesn't have a CD player. Now, they make up for that with their wireless section, which of course this does wireless Bluetooth, and it does wireless Android Auto and wireless CarPlay. A little bit more on that in just a few minutes. But before we go on to that, let's take a look at the unit itself. One of the first things you're going to notice about this unit is it has physical buttons. Thank you. I don't know how many times I and other people have asked for physical buttons on a car stereo. You would think it would be really easy to do, but almost everyone's going to touchscreen. And although you can use a touchscreen, it really makes operating the system without looking at it very hard. This is set up like, well, any car that you've had in the past. You can literally just reach over there and turn up and down the volume. It is fantastic. In fact, it is so great that when I told my wife that this had a physical button on it, she literally did one of these. Yes! I mean, it was like a Napoleon Dynamite scene. It was hilarious and also awesome. Now, when we turn this around, it's gonna have all of your basic connections. It has connections for like your steering wheel control. It has connections for an external microphone, which of course comes with it. It does have connections for front and rear camera, connections for all your amplifiers, including subwoofer amplifier, and it does even have video in if you want that as well. So I wanted to hook this up in the house first before I put it in the car. And the main reason why I wanted to do that is because I really wanted to test out this wireless Android Auto. I mean, this is around $200, so I was a little concerned about wireless Android Auto really working well, or maybe even working at all. I gotta say, it did work, and it worked the first time. All I had to do is hook my phone up to Bluetooth and make sure that I had wireless Android Auto turned on my phone. When I did that, as soon as my Bluetooth connected to the unit, it just popped up my phone on the screen. I selected that, and Android Auto just started. I've been using this for a few weeks now in my car, and I have yet to have a hiccup with it. I mean, it just starts right up every time. I just select my phone and I'm off and running, and this is cool. For those who don't know what Android Auto or Apple CarPlay is, I'll do a brief overview. Android Auto is for Android users, Apple CarPlay is for Apple. Basically what this does is it allows you to connect to your phone, and it opens up an easy to navigate app that you can use your voice for everything. So if you want to go ahead and navigate somewhere, you would just say the words, "Okay, Google, navigate to Walmart." Now, everyone that has a Google phone is hating me right now because they're probably navigating to Walmart. Sorry, but it does kind of give me a little chuckle when I'm thinking about it. Now, same thing with Apple, except obviously you would say your magic word, which is Siri. Now, once you do that, you can do all kinds of things like navigate, like we talked about. You can call people, you can text message people, and you can even read text messages aloud. You can also tell it to play music with Bluetooth. And so you would probably be using something like Pandora or Spotify, and you would once again just say your magic word and just tell it to play. And you can even tell it what artists to play, and it'll start playing that. In fact, you should go ahead and play some sound advice while you're in your car next. Sound advice, if you're not familiar with it, is a podcast that I do with my man DIY Audio Guy. Go ahead and check it out and subscribe to your local podcast. I think you'll like it. All this makes hands-free driving flawless. And because this is wireless, it allows you the option of charging your phone somewhere else. So a lot of people have chargers inside their center console. You can go ahead and hook up your own fast charger. You don't have to worry about charging it from the unit anymore. And you can hide it in your center console. It takes that distraction away from you, and it makes driving a lot safer. I'm a huge fan of Android Auto and Apple CarPlay because of this. And the wireless has just made it even better. Now, the one thing that you won't find on Android Auto or Apple CarPlay is the radio, and that's because the radio app on every single one of these types of units is separate. It's built into the actual unit itself, not into your phone. And so you're going to have to select that first if you want to listen to the radio. The great thing about that is when Android Auto is up and running, you can still change your channels with the physical buttons on this. And there are different functions for those buttons depending on whether you long press or short press that. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the unit. Because there are physical buttons on there, the screen itself isn't as big as some of the other units. It's also not as vibrant as some of the other units. Now, some people might see this as a downside. I actually like it not as vibrant. I've had so many units with a ton of glare. This one really doesn't have that, which I really do appreciate. Not only that, when it's darker or nighttime, with some of the other units that I've used in the past, they are so bright that it can still be a distraction while driving. This one I haven't had that issue with, which I do appreciate. But in general, this unit is fairly basic, and that's because this uses a Linux-based system versus an Android operating system. Since it does use a Linux-based system, you're not going to be downloading any apps onto the actual head unit itself. You're going to be relegated to the apps that work with Android Auto, which would be on your phone. On top of that, there's not going to be as much customization. You can customize a little, but this is really just designed for those that just want to get up and running and have a head unit in their car that, well, works. Now, there are some things that you can do that it doesn't show in your normal settings. For those, you're going to have to go to the factory settings and put in the code 123456. Now, if you can remember that very hard code, then you can get into your more advanced settings. And this is where you can change like your boot logo. You can change things like the volume of your devices. So if your Bluetooth is a little bit quieter than the radio or vice versa, you can actually change the volume of those so that it kind of synchronizes. You're not blaring out when you change your sources. Now, another thing about this unit is it's not really the fastest unit in the world. In fact, it's kind of slow when it boots up. It takes its time. But here's the thing. This unit works. And that might sound silly to say, but I don't know how many units that I've got in to review that I ended up not reviewing because they don't work. They don't work well. They're terrible units. And in this price range, you're always concerned on whether or not the unit's going to work, especially one that comes with a camera and a microphone and wireless Android Auto. You're thinking to yourself, there's no way that this unit can actually work. And it has physical buttons. Like, this is kind of like that unicorn. It's like, it can't work. It does. It absolutely works. And that is what I'm so excited about. Not only does it works every time. When I get in the car, I'm never concerned on whether or not that's going to pop up and wireless Android is going to start working. I know it's going to work. And that's the great thing about this unit. It just works. The question is, would I recommend this? And the answer is absolutely. If you want a head unit that just works, you don't need a lot of customization, you just want to drive down the road, maybe drive a little bit safer with the Android Auto, and you don't want to have to finagle with it, that's what this unit is. And I would highly recommend it to anyone that is looking for a unit like this. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed the review. And if you did, make sure to give it a like. It really does help the channel out. And don't forget to subscribe to it and ring that bell. All right, guys, this is Toyd's DIY Audio. I'm out.